Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? Hope you all are very fine and fit, healthy at your home. Children, in last session 1, we discussed about uses of water, sources of water, states of water. Now, in today's session, we are going to learn about water cycle stages. We are having in water cycle 4 stages like evaporation, condensation, precipitation, collection or runoff. Now let us learn about what is evaporation. Evaporation. Now with some examples we see. Children, you spread a piece of wet cloth in the sunlight. Observe after some time. Where has the water in the wet cloth gone? The water evaporates into the atmosphere due to the heat of the sun. When we want to dry clothes quickly, we wave them or keep them under a fan. Does the water in wet cloths dry up only due to sunlight or due to other reasons? You must have seen that water on wet roads, sometimes on rooftops, and some other places dries up after some time, though there is no sunlight. Where does this water go after drying up? If you heat water kept in a bowl by using a stove, you may notice water vapor coming from the bowl. Thus, when water is heated, it gets converted to vapor and mixes with the air. This is what happens to the water and wet clothes also. So, this process of water changing into water vapor is called evaporation. So, what is evaporation? The process of water changing into water vapor is called evaporation. If water is gently heated, it will become a warm. Some vapor is produced. If it is heated more, it starts boiling. If we heat it further, it evaporates and converts completely into water vapor. We know that the amount of heat absorbed by water affects its evaporation. If water is heated more, it will evaporate faster. Evaporation is a natural process which takes place on the earth. Water evaporates continuously from the surfaces of water bodies like seas, oceans, rivers, ponds, etc. and changes into water vapor due to the heat supplied by the sunlight. Where does this water vapor go after evaporation? Let's understand. The water vapor formed due to evaporation becomes a part of air and cannot usually be seen. The water vapor which enters into air through the process of evaporation forms clouds in the sky. So, what happened after evaporation? The water vapor formed into clouds. Now we see what is a cloud, how are clouds formed. Now to better understand, let us see with some examples. It is our common experience that on a cold winter morning, when we speak, we observe smoke like vapor coming out of our mouth. Why does the smoke like vapor comes out of our mouth in winter? Do we experience this in summer as well? No, we experience only in winter season. In winter, the air in our atmosphere is very cool as compared to the air coming out from our mouth. Water vapor present in the air coming out from our mouth gets cooled suddenly to form very tiny droplets. These tiny droplets concentrate in a limited area, appear like a smoke or a small cloud near our mouth. You might have observed that in the mornings during winter, some tiny water droplets are formed called as dew drops appear on grass and leaves of plants, etc. So from where do these water drops come on the leaves and grass? So this due to condensation. So now let us understand with some other example. For that, take some water in a glass and pieces of ice to it. Observe for a few minutes. What changes do you observe on the outer surface of the glass? You would observe the formation of small drops of water on the outer surface of the glass. Why are these drops formed? Do they form if there is no ice in the glass? Let us see. Ice cold water in the glass cools its surface. Air around the glass contains water vapor which is warmer than the surface of the glass. Due to the cold glass, air close to its surface will also become cooler. This changes the water vapor in the air around the surface of the glass into water and forms small drops on the outer surface of the glass. Have you ever observed in your daily life where water vapor changes into water? Okay, we may have observed. And we can define this condensation as the process of conversion of water vapor into water is called as condensation. So conversion of water vapor into water is simply called as condensation. Now let us see about clouds. On a warm day, the sun heats up the ground as well as the water in seas, oceans, rivers, ponds. This water converts into water vapor by the process of evaporation. This water vapor rises up into the atmosphere. As we move away from the surface of the earth, the air becomes cooler. Hence, when water vapor reaches higher levels, it condenses due to contact with cool air and forms small drops or water droplets. These tiny droplets remain floating in the air at higher levels of the atmosphere and appear as clouds. The clouds formed on the surface of the different water bodies do not stay there. They start to move from one place to another in the direction of winds. As more clouds come together, they become laden with water vapor. Winds bring the clouds from the sea to the land. The colder air in the upper layers of the atmosphere cools the cloud. We all know that without clouds it will not be possible to get rains and that all clouds do not cause rains. Some changes takes place in the clouds before they cause rain. What changes do you notice in the sky and in the atmosphere before it rains? What changes takes place in the clouds before raining? Let's see. The clouds moving in the air are generally at higher levels. Sometimes the cool breeze coming along with the air makes the clouds cooler. This leads to water droplets present in the clouds to condense and form large water drops. Further cooling of clouds increases the size of their water drops and clouds become heavy and descend towards the earth. The color of such clouds changes from white to gray, giving us the feeling of dark clouds gathering. When the size of the water drops increases, further it becomes difficult for the cloud to hold them. and water drops begin to fall. This is called as rain. In our daily life, we observe that before raining, clouds descend towards the earth's surface and we experience a cool breeze before rainfall. In very cold conditions, the drops of water turn into crystals of ice and fall as snow. Sometimes big drops of water solidify into ice known as hailstones. This kind of weather condition where rain, snow, sleet, or hail fall from the sky is called as precipitation. So now children, we saw evaporation, condensation and precipitation. Children, in our next session we um, we are going to learn about another stage of water cycle. Till then, Allah Hafiz.